National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies teamed up with CDD West Africa to host a policy dialogue on election and technology, opportunities and challenges. This event brought together experts and stakeholders to examine how technology is transforming Nigeria's electoral landscape from transparency to trust, innovation to integrity. In his keynote address, Professor Okechukwu, Ibeanu, offered insights on the future of electoral tech and its democratic implications.
As important as that is that Nigerians are not alone. Nigeria's demand, or the demand by Nigerian citizens for more technology in election, is consistent with what is happening in other parts of Africa. And the history of that is very simple. Between 1989 and 2000, there was a quiet revolution that swept through Africa. It was a revolution in elections. By 1990, you could hardly count any African country, just a few African countries that were conducting any election at all. But 10 years later, you could hardly count anyone that didn't conduct elections.
Director General, National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies, NILDS, Professor Abubakar Suleiman, represented by Director of Legal, Professor Shaibu Danwaka, said the dialogue is important, especially as Nigeria navigates the critical period of electoral reform.
Today's dialogue, therefore, is in line with our Institute's mandate of providing legislative support services to the National Assembly and promoting democratic governance through research, policy analysis, and legislative strengthening. The dialogue is also aimed at fostering a robust intellectual exchange of ideas among key stakeholders and experts, focused on critically examining the effectiveness of election technologies and their impact on the conduct of elections in Nigeria. To this end, therefore, I urge us all to approach the discourse with a critical yet constructive mindset.
Chairman House Committee on Electoral Matters, Honorable Adebayo Balogun, the Chief of Army Staff and other stakeholders harped on the need for technological innovations in the conduct of credible elections.
We've ensured that inclusion is very necessary, and we are taking it up seriously, and we have on our own part pushed the bill for even the voting by inmates and some early voters. When you're talking about the inmates, I'm happy that the correctional officers are here. Moving forward, we want to ensure that people in your correctional centers are able to vote.
Most of the areas where we are having this issue of insecurity, one of the major setback we experience is accessibility to these areas. Whenever we are called on the issues of security, accessing these areas becomes a major challenge.
When half of the country is not, or over half of the country, when they are not satisfied with the electoral process, then it brings a big question mark on our electoral process, considering how much we have invested to get technology introduced into Nigerian system. I'm also interested in technology because as women, when we participate in politics, we don't have resources to rig. The terrain is so tough for Nigerian women. We struggle to get tickets. We struggle to participate in campaigns, facing violence, facing every kind of challenge that will come our way.